for people who don't know, who are you guys? Like, where are you coming from? Obviously, you're the Young Coyotes. Maybe, how did you get your name, or a funny story like that?
All right. Well.
Oh my God.
Yo, we got the name. No, okay. We got the name from a documentary. Well, yeah, I watched this documentary on problems that they were having at the Mexican border. So random documentary a friend of mine gave. And then these men called coyotes, who Mexican families hire to get their kids across the border so they can go to school. All that jazz. And that was.
We're both half Hispanic.
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking about it one day, and it kind of came to me at work, and I texted him, dude, what do you think? He's like, yes, and we went for it.
What are some of the groups that you guys really liked working with, and, you know, what role do you see yourselves having in Denver specifically?
I think a main one is Bad Weather California.
Yeah, we like the Bad Weather California dudes a lot.
Pretty cool dudes.
They're awesome cats. And the Born in the Flood cats are pretty cool.
Yeah, we really like those guys.
Yeah, Nathaniel, and
I think those two we play with the most, right?
yeah. But as far as I mean, no offense. I mean, we're not really like concerned with Denver.
Don't even say no offense.
Offense. We don't really care about Denver, to tell you the truth. It's kind of like we kind of just view it as another city. You know, like we live here and it's home.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I don't know. I think people too often try to establish the hometown following and then tour. We're just putting out good records. That's all we're gonna put.
You mentioned putting out good records. You obviously just put out 2 EPs a week ago.
Yeah.
And those have digital release. Any plans for a physical release? And is there any possibility of vinyl on those?
Yeah.
That's all we're gonna do.
Yeah, we're actually just gonna do vinyl. Yeah, what, May?
Yeah, May, June.
Beginning of June, we're gonna have a nice vinyl out.
We don't really see the point in CDs unless they're.
Yeah.
Just because like
everything else is just gonna be digital.
Everything just goes straight to iPods anyways now, so it's like what's the point? Just wasting money.
Yeah. And then we might still do a cover album too.
Yeah, we might do
that like a digital release and a vinyl release at the same time.
Some Carole King, some Tears for Fears, some Temptation.
Yeah.
And then we're already halfway done with our full length, so if something happens at South by or whatever, we'll put up the full length by the end of the year.
So Adam, you were in Axe and Chop the Cherry Tree, which I remember seeing those guys like a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
And it was,
nice.
I mean, it was like good mosh music. And I wouldn't consider Young Coyotes to really be mosh music.
No, not at all, man.
And then Zach, I've listened to a little bit of Moroseros, and it's definitely a change from what you're doing now. Like, what was that transition like?
The reason why I stopped doing Moros is just because it became like mentally exhausting to talk about those things all the time. I mean, any of the lyrical content from Moros was just very, very heavy, so just kind of like every night it's like the same thing. But as far as like changing, I think we even thought we were gonna be something like that, just some crazy like music, whatever. But the way I see it is like, this is the music that Adam and I come up with when Adam has a drum set and I have an acoustic guitar. I'm not like, we didn't say like, oh, we're gonna write some cool, you know, crazy trippy shit. We're just like, yeah, let's do this.
It happened by accident.
Yeah. Like if he had a keyboard and I had a drum set, you know, it's like, it would just be exactly what it is. Like all our music all the songs are different, but they have this definitely feel, and that's just what happens when when we play. Same thing with Moros, and same thing with the Axe. Like when those 5 guys together, that's the music they make.
Yeah.
When us 4 were together, that's the kind of music we make.
For you, how is the recording process different than like the live experience, and how do you try and integrate that live sound into your recorded sound?
Yeah, that's a great question.
One that we can't answer.
Yeah, that's actually
analogies.
Oh, that was a great question. We actually just talking about that today. I don't know. There's kind of cool things there's kind of cool aspects about being in the studio that I don't know, you can't necessarily pull off live, but it's kind of okay because the record is its own thing, and then you kind of get a separate interpretation of it, of the songs live. So I kind of like that aspect. So I don't know that we're ever gonna like strive to be a perfectly live sounding band, because you can be in the studio and the studio tricks are cool.
I think like super click tracks and things like that, it just kind of deadens everything.
Yeah. Everything becomes very uniform.
Kills the
That's
groove.
not really.
We need the groove.
Yeah.
Especially with his marijuana addiction.
It's all groove. Get more of that. there, man. You should be talking about the
I should be. But,
Woo!
oh well.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's cool that we have kind of like two different sides of the music. You have the record, which is I'm proud of, and you have the live show, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
What have been some of your non-musical influences? Maybe authors or poets or artists, or maybe even just people in your lives.
I don't think we even have musical influences actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have all the stuff we listen to.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely no musical influences. Actually.
Yeah, I don't think we do. Yeah, no musical influences. I think as far as life goes, man, me and Zach kind of had it. Me and Zach and Dale, I know you can't see him, but we all kind of had like crazy childhoods. So that's where a lot of our personality stems from. So kind of like, I would say life would be like my looking back every day. I think is my biggest influence.
Like you
Just seeing how crazy things happen.
Yeah, you listen to
awesome things end up. So,
I remember like whenever people like ask or even curious about what's happening, like in either of our lives, I know we talk about it. They're like, whoa, maybe that wasn't okay. You know what I mean? And I think like me, I read a lot, and I know Adam reads a lot now too. And so I just say like, yeah, it's life and books. Everything else is kind of like.
Everything else just happens.
Everything else is kind of it's kind of.
I don't know. Rolling with the punches. Right. All right.
Cool. Yes, any last words?
Man,
It's done.
the dodos are extinct for a reason. Stay extinct. That's what I'm saying.
What did I say earlier? Oh, we have this idea that if anybody ever asks us about that kind of stuff, it's like, look, the guitar player is better than me, the drummer is better than Adam, but our voices are like angels, and that's the only thing we have going.
Go fuck yourself.
So go f yourself. Anybody else?
I think that's our final words. Go fuck yourself.
Definitely, Jesse.
Right on.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for your time.
It's been